Now it's the conflict between Israel and Gaza, and joining us is the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's spokesperson Tal Heinrich. Tal, thanks for your time. Thanks for waiting up for us this evening. So today here in Australia, our government has announced 2 military planes and personnel to go to the Middle East as a precaution in case this conflict widens. What are the chances of that happening in your view?
We certainly hope this doesn't turn into an all-out war with different adversaries across the region, not with Iran and not with a different Iranian proxy, Hezbollah, up in the north. Right now, we are focused on fighting Hamas, the terrorist organization that dragged us into this war when they massacred, when they butchered our people on October 7th. But just like our Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, said, like President Biden said, they told our enemies on other fronts, don't test us, don't try us, because if Israel is needed to act on other fronts, we will act decisively and judiciously, and we will make sure that our citizens are safe and secure.
Our Prime Minister has not spoken with your Prime Minister. You're understandably very busy, but there is a huge Jewish population here with relatives in Israel. Why no call?
I do not, I have no comment on that. Many world leaders were here. In fact, they stood by Israel and in Israel. Many world leaders have talked to the Prime Minister and the President, President Herzog, and we appreciate any kind of international support right now. In fact, what we are seeing in front of our eyes is this international coalition being built to confront Hamas, as was the case against ISIS, because what they have done here, the atrocities that they committed, and I know it's a morning program in Australia. It's the middle of the night here in Israel. So I will try not to describe these atrocities too much, but these were worse than ISIS-style atrocities because they were also aimed at toddlers and children. They're still holding at least 220 hostages, Israeli hostages in Gaza. And again, one more reason of why they are worse than ISIS is because they have a state sponsor behind them, which is Iran. They provide more than 93% of Hamas's budget.
But government to government, is there any disappointment on your part that a senior Australian government minister has not visited Israel, despite vocally supporting you?
Well, we appreciate any kind of support. Moral support is important. Material support that the United States has sent is very, very important, and it speaks volumes because it sends a very tough message to all of our adversaries again. And we are getting a lot of international support. Many people are asking us, how can we help? What can we do? People understand the situation here, that Israel is on the global front lines right now of the war against terrorism. What happened here must never happen again. And not just against us, the Israelis and the Jews. Terrorism, it must be clear to terrorists that this route is simply a dead end and is unacceptable in the civilized world.